Yeah, so I should be able to.
Because I know I got the 21st of July's book. That date is booked already. People are already calling me on dates and stuff already.
That's why I asked you first day I came in. Yeah, 21st, that's a Saturday. So and even if I do it Saturday, it would be later. It would be the 28th or the 4th.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the town. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam. Hey, yo, what you gon' do? 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 People in the house, let's go.
Alright, so I'm here with Corey. No need for an introduction, really. Serial entrepreneur, creative guru, mentor, and inspiration to so many. Alright, but one secret I do want to talk about that people don't know really is that you also play baseball. I feel like that's something that's not really talked about that often. So can you kind of just talk a little bit about your experience with sports and how you use that to translate into business?
Wow, that's a great question. I don't think nobody ever asked me that. Oh no, baseball players are smartest sport though. So the smarter guys play baseball, that's for sure. Yeah, I love baseball growing up. Played it since I was like 8, and it makes you think on every situation. So you have to problem solve, adapt, be a teammate, because there's 9 people on the field, and you have to play your role. Understanding coaching, understanding repetition, because baseball is all about repetition. That's why you see they have to play the most games throughout the year. They have practice in between that and batting practice. The week that you take off of taking swings or ground balls or throwing, you struggle, So it's all about just going in every day and being in perfecting your craft and being a teammate, understanding situations and outthinking those situations. So that's how I adapt on the business, I guess. Just being able to play baseball, it was easier to see business and what kind of person you had to be. So, but yeah, love the game and miss it. I don't play anymore. I don't watch sports anymore either. I don't watch football, basketball, or baseball too much.
Like you got too much free time when you sit around and watch too much
I could.
TV.
I mean, I think people do that. I think it's what they want to do in life. If they want to go home after a hard day's work or building their business and go watch sports, they can. I don't. I choose to spend more time with my family, friends, supporting others in their events. Just like last night, we had an event, and some of our customers or clientele was like, "Oh man, y'all had no TV there. Shit, the game is on." It all depends on who you relate to and who don't, and
what your priorities
and what your priorities are. What's more important, sitting at home or going to a bar to watch a game, or people you don't know, or supporting the people that you do, just trying to hire more people or friends and family that you have or know to feed their family. So, but it's all good. We don't judge anybody on it, and that's about it, though.
You're preaching. That's literally part of what I've been talking about to some of my friends now. Is like, you're so quick to go spend money, and it's a mute point to a point, because it's at the end of the day, like you said, we're not judging.
Yeah.
But some people got their things, like they feel like they want to go spend $200 on a T-shirt for somebody in some brand that they never gonna recognize or relate to. That's really just selling you a dream and a vision, as opposed to somebody who's really in your community, where you come from where you from, and like really trying to build up that area and the people around that area. And if you're not really keen to or aware enough to see that, then
yeah, like, you have your friends, you have your different friends. So that's just a friend. Hey man, when you want to go shopping, let's go buy T-shirts, let's go shopping, man. We have a great time talking about clothes, whatever. And you gotta have friends like that. But
when you in your spare time,
I'm a little bit older, and I've this is like probably my third phase of business. I've had a first phase, a second phase, and a third phase in life, and my children being almost young adults, and this is what I want to do, and I'm focused on community development and business. I see that we don't have enough of us like really doing business. Yeah, people have brands and go do this and do that, but we're not savvy with lease agreements and build outs and staff and priorities of staff roles, and going to see our accountants to make sure that we're there for a while, and that's what we kind of want to show.
And that's a perfect segue into another question I have for you. Is you kind of talked about how you would separate your business life into kind of like 3 separate steps. Would you say that like one of those steps would be when you started the consulting company?
Well, I always had a consulting company. That was my first consulting company.
Right.
I started that in 2000, and I started that because I was hired as a consultant. I had failed in the business before, and a guy that was in the retail business was like, hey man, I saw what you did with your previous store. I want to hire you as a consultant. You showed me how to build my footwear program in my 15 stores around the country. So I was like, damn, yeah, I'm a consultant. All right, let me start a focus group and be a consultant and help people out. Like, I've always been the middleman for things, and people always call me like, Corey, I need help. I need this favor. I need a friend. I need an attorney. I need a painter. I need a photographer. I need a videographer. I need somebody who can do graphic design, you know. So I was like, you know, that's easy if I can correlate my friends with other friends to do business because I trust them, then I could, you know, I'm a consultant then, basically.
And you allowed that?
Yeah.
Would you say you allowed that kind of to just springboard your business as opposed to, because it basically was like you were able to learn without really investing completely in it, but still having an investment because these are your friends. You recognize it as a network, and you obviously wouldn't want to let those friends down, so you put them in tune with people who could competently handle those situations.
Because I hear so many horror stories of, man, I gave this web guy, man, $3,000, and he done, you know what I'm saying, my web ain't working, it ain't right, he not answering my emails, my phone calls, and I gave this contractor $5,000 to do my store, man, and they messed it up, bought the wrong thing, and then we had argument over why he bought the wrong thing. He just left, so I'm stuck with all this stuff. He done had a receipt, he won't give it back to me to take it back. So yeah, I heard, as you know, it's been 20 years for me being in business, so I've heard all the horror stories and been through some of those things. So if I know people that are totally dedicated to their business, their craft, their profession, and this is what they do, and you know those people like Mike. You can start with nothing and make yourself into something all in Bronzeville, and that tells the story of Bronzeville, of what it used to be.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
what we're working on. So that's Mike right there. That's the head con. He does things all the time. He's a great guy. What's up, man? He's like,
great out here.
Mike was just outside. We like, yo, this is Mike. He's like, all right, man, shit, I got to build this shit out. He was right back focused on this shit. He don't care about none of that stuff. He want to get the job done. Those are the people I know, and I'll be around. That's just it.
All right, so I know we said we're not going to talk too much about leaders. If you don't know about leaders, do your Google. I'll throw some pictures in and you'll see it. But one thing I do want to mention about leaders, I feel like was super valuable to just a lot of the guys in my age group, is just the fact that you were super invested into giving back to those guys and just being a mentor. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that and what it is? Because I think the reason why this is so important for me to bring up is I feel like the generation right now is so minimized. Like people look at it and try to put us down just because of a lot of the popular culture stories that come up, or like the paths that like people are choosing to follow. But I feel like you were able to see like a brighter picture in a lot of guys where most people didn't. Yeah. And I guess I'm kind of trying to get you to talk about what you saw from your perspective in the younger generation that helps you to be able to reach out and influence them.
It comes back to baseball. It's just like when you have a baseball coach and you 10, 12, 13 years old and you have a passion for something, you might not be the best baseball player or even good, but if you're dedicated in that, you learned a lot from your coach. You learned a lot from being around your team. You know what I'm saying? And you knew how that player 2 years ago was nothing, and 4 years later he's All-American just by practicing and taking it serious and being able to adapt. And it was the same. It's just like leaders, I mean, I think a few people would say that we wasn't there for them because we were there for that kid who was really, really aggressive. If he was very, very aggressive and I couldn't tell him shit, I mean, you can tell them things, they'll listen, but they were going to prove to you that they were going to be this rock star, they were going to be this fashion designer, they were going to be this photographer, and you talked to them and you told them what their mistakes was, and you were there with them when they made their mistakes and they learned from it, but they had a willingness to never quit and never stop. They were going to always be the best, and those are the people that adapted to the Leaders brand because we put you through shit. Like, we made you work if you really wanted to do what you wanted to do. We didn't hand nothing out to nobody. If you want to do an in-store, we wanted to see your videos. We wanted to see your look. We wanted to hear your music. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to see you more. You know, so you had to keep proving us that you were going to do that. So the guys that were willing to work very hard and deal with our shit, deal with our dissing them, deal with our sarcasm, because you have to know how to deal with that in the real world. Like, the first phone call you make might not be the right phone call, but that don't mean you stop. You know, if you're pursuing something, an internship or a job profession or a mentor or whatever, you know. So that's how that wound out, though. So I'm proud of the guys, and if you can see the people that always was around us, and they're all doing something. They're all doing something very, very special. And the guys is like, man, I went to Leaders once or twice, man. They ain't even look at my stuff. They told me I needed work and never came back. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about them.
Exactly.
This is it.
All right, let's see.
All been waiting for, ain't it? What you all been waiting for, ain't it? Wait. What you all been waiting for, ain't it? What you all, man? It's important to be absorbed.
Ooh. They never thought I'd make it this high, man. Ooh. Hey, this is cold. Ooh. Ooh. I'm out here. STEPHisode I. Another one.
At this point I'm seeing wherever we want, we get it. I can't wait till a couple meal is just a parking ticket on this road to riches with thick, fine bitches. Living young, fly, and gifted. We been dying to get it, yeah.